Hey there folks at home, it's me, Inkie Incorporated, and animations are taking a little while, so I figured I'd do another cryptid video. But while brainstorming for a nifty little idea, I had a realization.
Ding!
The videos I've been making have been more factual, telling you about the cryptids. Everybody and their mother's auntie's dog has done that. What they haven't done is taught you, the creative mind, the viewer at home, how you can reinterpret these creatures, or ways you could reinterpret these creatures for your own stories. And seeing as I've been in a bit of my ocean phase at the moment, I'm just obsessed with like crabs and octopi and stuff, I figured I would cover a couple of oceanic cryptids, and how you might be able to redepict them and some varying common depictions. And because I drew some stuff for Halloween and didn't use it, ba-boom! Halloween costume! Yes, it's a manatee. Yeah. So I'm gonna be like this for the rest of the video. Yeah. Starting off at number 1 on our list is the Kraken, or giant squid, which is known to be actually proven to have existed. It's quite big, as the name, suggests, and is often seen and comes from more aquatic, swashbuckling pirate sort of stories. But if you wanted to give a big backhand in the face to your reader, or your listener, or your watcher, you could put it in a setting where it does not belong. Not something too jarring like a coffee shop or I don't know, your local Marks and Spencer's. Also something like a desert. You'd never expect to see a giant squid in the desert. So if one popped out of some random sewer drain in the middle of nowhere, you'd be surprised, wouldn't you? It'd be like, oh, there it is. That'd be a good one. I'll probably put some art up now of what you could do for a sandstorm kraken. There is of course a Splatoon route of having it be a more artsy, characterized character, personality and everything, not just a monster, but the mind behind it too. And yeah, that's a good one. The second one on my list is the Loch Ness Monster. One of the most memorable of all cryptids and one of the most well known. It's up there with the ranks of Bigfoot and Mothman as like the thing people think of when they think of cryptids and conspiracy theory type stuff. But there's not much you can really do with Nessie, because Nessie is stuck to Loch Ness. If you take it out of Loch Ness, it's just kind of a dinosaur that lives in the ocean. But Loch Ness as a place is really rife with lore you can take and mend and change. There's stuff like kelpies, which are horses, spirits that try to drown people. You never think of horses and water until, you see them together. Poseidon is like god of water and horses, and it's a whole thing. You could have Nessie be some sort of like carrier or taxi service. I know they do that in the Mario series of games. I'll put that up now. And there's not much else you can do for Nessie. For my next one I know it's not technically an aquatic creature, but it is the bunyip. Bunyip is from Australia, and it is any sort of creature that just lives in the water. Really, they call anything a bunyip. Big mammal with horns that lives in the river, bunyip. Little squelchy thing with an eye, bunyip. Whatever the hell this thing is, it's also a bunyip. So really, the sky's the limit. If you've got any pre-designed, like, subaquatic mammals, or just fish with legs, it'd make a perfect bunyip. And finally, last but not least on my big list of cryptids that would be good for stuff, it is the one, the only, Loveland, Ohio frogman. Yes, I know, I said the funny Ohio word. Everybody point and laugh at the clown. Yeah, but these guys are really creepy and really fun, and can be used in a lot of good contexts. I know they're not technically ocean creatures, but they are sure as hell living in the water. They're said to live along like riverbanks and roadsides, and be just giant frogs with like thumbs. Can you imagine? God. You can take this in a lot of routes, like you could put it in a sort of Lovecraftian route, like they're taking over a small town, and half the people are just like disguised frogmen. Or you could take it another route, have them just be perfectly integrated into society. Like somebody's like, oh my god, there's a frog at the till, and everyone else in the town turns to them and is like, oh, that's just Jerry, he works at the till. And they're like, oh, but he's a giant frog. And they're like, so? Or, you could of course throw it the more ARG way, or I wouldn't say ARG, they'd be good for that as well, but more sort of analog horror, where it's, of course all cryptids are great for found footage tapes, but these ones especially, because of just how goofy they are, and they have big accentuated eyes, so that'd be really great for some sort of tape. They're just mystical little dudes. Well, that has been my top God knows how many cryptids. First thing back in the swing of things, making videos again. I'm going to be making more cryptid videos, hopefully of a better quality than this glitchy mess, but I'll make some good art for the video to make up for it. So, as always, I have been your host, Inkie of Inkie Incorporated, and tune on in for better content in the future. Merry holiday time.